So, reaction video number 4, How Intellectual Property Powers Economic Growth by David P. Miranda at TEDx Albany in 2011. So, David was a lawyer, an intellectual property lawyer, and intellectual property is a work or invention that is the result of creativity, such as a manuscript or a design to which one has rights and to which one may apply for a patent, copyright, or trademark. So he first started off his speech in the video with why is intellectual property important to a business and why is it important for our region. Intellectual property is fueling our region's economic growth. It harnesses, develops, protects, and commercializes and it collective and the innovation and imagination fuels the growth in the region that it needs. Our region, their transportation ways, the waterways that they have, and later they had access to the railways where they had more ways to like transfer and import goods, like export out goods that they were making. Our nation is now shifting again from an industrial economy to an economy that is reliant on increasing information and knowledge. So like how people are with the new iPhones, like they always want the new one. Like once the new one comes out, like they go and get it because like they want the new stuff, the new technology. It's like that, how people like are always wanting to know like the most technology and like the highest one. Our region's wealth is from resources from economic or educational institute throughout the capital region. Intellectual property is one of the measures of region's entrepreneurship and economic growth. And an entrepreneur is a person who organizes and operates a business or businesses by taking on greater than normal financial risk in order to do so. And intellectual property, as though in many cases more valuable than physical property, is much more difficult to protect against theft and misuse. Method to protecting intellectual property. So the U.S. patent system provides an inventor with the rights to their invention for 20 years for exchange for disclosure for that invention. So in 20 years it goes to the public domain with like the good of everyone. And then the cost of a patent and the time that goes with it is great. Like the time that goes into the patent and like discovering the new things and like actually getting the patent to you is a great experience and satisfaction. A project must go public, and patents are important. They are a government authority or license conferring a right or title for a set period, especially the sole right to exclude others from making, using, or selling an invention. And then is a form of intellectual property that gives its owner the legal rights to exclude others from making, using, selling, and importing an invention for a limited period of years in exchange for publishing and enabling public disclosure of the inventions. And then a case, like a study, was the Albany Molecular Research. They got a patent for a chemical compound and converted it for licensing for the drug Allegra and used that money and parlayed that into becoming a multi-million-dollar public trade company, over 800 employees. And then in the video, David showed a graph of like the total patents and then NYS, so New York State, New York, and it is increasing, but it is not increasing like the rest of the country is. So like other places, like they're catching up and like getting the same technology that NYS already had. So like they're not really increasing, like getting an upper hand on anyone, like everyone else is catching up with them. So there's an economic benefit in the Albany metropolitan area. So all of the metropolitan areas in the country, the Albany metropolitan area has the highest percentage of employees in the green and clean energy area, but not the most employees, because like they have like the most people there, but they don't have like that many employees to make it where like millions of employees are there. But with the number of employees, they have 28,000 plus and 6.3% of the workforce is part of like the green and clean in the Albany area. It is the 5th fastest growing green and clean. They grew 9% since 2003 in the metropolitan area. And this video was in 2011, so just imagine how much like more it probably has grown. And how is this transferred to real dollars and studies on exports? So our nation has taken the league in the patents. Like they talked about how, like what kind of patents are used for, like the General Electric wind power, which is leading the number of patents, and they talk about solar power, and then like fuel cells and like stuff like that are like patents. And then our region is commercialized, and the economic growth with it. Is a former CEO of the fuel packer. You can keep your government tax, you can keep your incentives, you can keep your financial incentives. We want to go where the creativity is, and we want to go where the intellectual people are. So like this is what they're talking about for jobs. Like they want people that have the creativity and the intellectual property, like that kind of mindset, because they want like different stuff and they want to keep like innovation, they want to keep growing. And then companies grow around technology, and the technology is created by the people, so it's forever like ongoing. Like technology is going to keep growing, people are going to keep investing in it and like making new things out of it. And then it talks about keep attracting creative people to our intellectual property and business to have that help. So having an intellectual mind like in a business will help, because people want to know like the new stuff, and they want like people with the highest knowledge at that time, like people, how it impacts business law is like it's giving more people opportunities, like more jobs and like more brain power in that like area. And how you may manage a business with intellectual power is, well, you're gonna have a creative team, and your intellectual power, like the new patent on you have to make sure you have the patent, because it would be illegal if you just made whatever you wanted. But with the intellectual property and having that to manage your business, I feel like it would do fine, because you would be having a creative mind, and then you would also have a patent for what you're creating, what you're selling, you're making money. You have the 20 years to do what you can, and then it'll come public. And you have all like the need, like everything you need with everything.